What's up, YouTube? WildLion Games here with another review, and today we're going to take a look at Retro Bowl. It's an 8-bit mobile football game on Android and iPhone, and this is the best mobile football game that you aren't playing. Seriously, I'm going to sum it up like this. It's simple enough that you can quickly play a few games, but complex enough to keep you coming back. So let's jump into this review. I'm in a baseball sim league for Super Mega Baseball. Just this little backstory of how I found this game. But one of the team owners in the league was telling us on Discord about Retro Bowl, and I'm constantly looking for a good mobile football game ever since NFL Showdown was shut down. And I haven't found anything worth my time. If you never played NFL Showdown, you missed out. But now, back to Retro Bowl. Retro Bowl enters the ring. It starts off free. After you play 4 games, you have the option to continue playing for the purchase of 99 cents. It's worth every penny. I mean, come on. Think of all the other silly stuff that you waste money on that costs a lot more money than 99 cents. The replay value is very high. It keeps you coming back for more. Don't be turned off by the graphics. It's 8-bit style. I know it looks a lot like Tecmo Bowl, and it honestly plays fairly similar to if Tecmo Bowl was like a touchscreen mobile game. But despite it looking like a Tecmo Bowl rehash, I decided to give the game a chance, and I'm really glad I did because the graphics aren't what make a game great. We all know that. It's the behind the scenes of franchise mode, specifically for this game, that make it great. Franchise mode is what we all have dreamed of ever since ESPN 2K5 days, and even Madden 2005, Madden 06. A mode that the football gaming community longs for in Madden, but the mode is constantly becoming worse and worse every year, disregarded for other game modes like Ultimate Team. So Retro Bowl will satiate that thirst. If you're looking for a fun franchise mode that has some of those in-depth managing options. That has some of those in-depth managing options that you're really just yearning for. This game has that. You start out the game by creating your own coach, and an NFL random team is going to sign you. I was signed by the Washington Redskins, and I've continued to stick with them. After I think your first 2 years, you actually have the option, depending on your performance, to sign to other teams. Like other franchises will be interested in you. But I've been working on this Redskins roster. I'm really proud of some of the stadium upgrades and the training facility upgrades and the roster I've built. So I've been sticking with the Redskins. But within franchise mode, you have tons of options to choose from, such as hiring your offensive coordinator, hiring your defensive coordinator, signing free agents, having meetings with players, disciplining players, choosing how to react to a certain situation on, maybe you had a player who was out partying all night, and you can either ignore it and it'll lower the team morale, or you can criticize him and it'll lower his morale only. And sometimes it's either a positive or negative. Sometimes it's maybe you had a meeting with the media that's going to improve your fan base, but then your owner wants to meet with you. So now, and if you meet with the owner, you get a chance at earning some extra coins, but you miss out on the chance of boosting your fan support. So that whole aspect is really cool. But you have press conferences, updating facilities, re-signing contracts, much more. There's so much going on, but it never feels overwhelming. How? Well, first off, you don't have to manage a 53-man roster and practice squad guys. You build your team of star talents ranging from, 1-star to 5-star caliber players, and then the game just builds the rest of your roster for you. So you're really only focusing and you're only really worrying about your cap space for those, those core players on your team. Signing players requires coach currency or coins. I don't believe they have an official name, but it's just like the little C icon in the top corner that you see. It's coins. So you have that, and then you also have your salary cap room. There's a 3-round draft in the offseason, and you can either sign players or trade your pick away for currency or the coach coins. A first-round pick is worth 3 coins, a second-round pick is worth 2, and a third-round pick is worth 1 coin. You can also trade players during the season for draft picks and then have multiple draft picks in a round if you choose to do that as well. When you draft players and re-sign players that are already on your roster, you don't have to worry about coins, just the salary cap. When it comes to rosters, the coins only come into place when signing free agents. When you go to free agents, they're not only going to take up cap space, but it's also going to cost you a pretty decent chunk of coins that you have. How you build your team is up to you. Personally, I like to find fast players because speed kills in this game. If you're looking to upgrade your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, you can also look at available coordinators for hire to replace them. Some have different specialties traits, some don't have any special traits at all. Some of them are different skill levels, they have different ages, and you use coins. You don't have to worry about your cap space, but you do use coins to sign them also. The other thing you use coins for is updating your stadium, which changes how drastically fan happiness changes after a win or loss. So this yellow meter you see, if it's under that first little line in the yellow bar, you only get 1 coin for a win. Or after every game. I don't think you even have to win. It's just after every game. 2 bars, 2 coins, three coins if you're in that third meter. Updating your training facilities also uses coins. It improves the rate of player development. And updating your rehab facilities improves how fast players will recover from an injury. It's all pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory, but it's a lot of fun to mess around with and upgrade and have things to upgrade because that's what we all like. We all like, if you ever played MVP Baseball 05, that's one of the best parts about the franchise, or the owner mode in that game is, you're starting off with some 20,000 seat stadium and turning it into this, it doesn't have any restaurants or concessions, and then you're turning it into this humongous, 45,000 stadium with fireworks and restaurants and batting cage. I mean, it's such a fun aspect of the game. So you get some of those RPG elements in this, not only with your coaching staff, but with the team itself, as far as upgrades for the stadium and training facilities. So let's check out some gameplay. I've had some clips here and there, but it's fairly simple. You only play offense. The defense sims itself and gives you brief text updates. On offense, if you want to pass, just hold your thumb or finger on the screen and pull back and kind of move to where you want to throw. So how far you pull back and where you move your finger will change the trajectory and direction of the pass. Quarterbacks with higher throw power will be able to throw the ball further, and with higher accuracy, that little line will also go further, so you can pinpoint to where you're actually throwing to, the little dotted white line. If you want to run the ball, just simply tap the running back for the snap of the play, and you'll trigger a run play that's drawn up. That's about it. Special teams. Kicking is pretty fun, actually. It's simple. You just fill up the meter with the line by tapping on the screen, and then, the little white arrow will move back and forth in the accuracy cone, and you just tap the screen to get your accuracy. It's, gameplay is simple, yet it's satisfying and rewarding, and it does what it needs to do. So let's get to the negatives. As much as I would like this to be a perfect game, it's not. I wish there was more stats to track. When you go into the Hall of Fame menu, you can track your wins and losses over the years and how your team finished. You can see where you rank among a few other coaches, and you can actually track individual player stats for games, seasons, and careers. But to really make this game top notch, I'd like to see more because it is pretty bland. I'd love to be able to see my coach's overall record. And my coach's overall win-loss record versus other coaches' overall win-loss records as well. Maybe how many Pro Bowlers or Hall of Fame players I've coached. I'd like to see a league leaders board with various stat categories like catches in a season or career touchdown passes. So not just the league leaders for the season, but like a career. Because, I have my favorite receiver I was talking about. I've had him for 6 years in this game. And, I like to look at his stats because I throw to him all the time. So, I go online and I go to the Pro Football Reference. I'm like, where would he sit in the all-time leaderboards, right? So it would be cool to have some sort of all-time leaderboards in the game. Not for multiple players, but just, not like an online leaderboard, but just, your leaderboard so you can see. I think some more stats would be cool. As far as gameplay side, I'm actually okay not having to play defense, and I think I actually prefer it that way. But it would be kind of nice to be able to create a defensive game plan based on your opponent's tendencies. It doesn't need to be anything complex, but just a simple option of using 4-4, 4-3, 4-2-5, whatever you want to play in. And because I guess what I'm getting at is right now I have a 5-star defense coordinator, a pretty solid roster for defense. But they get scored on like nobody's business. And there's nothing I can do to combat that, which is frustrating because on defense, the only thing I can do is, all right, I have a 5-star defense coordinator. I've got a 4-star corner, a 3-star linebacker, and a 4-star defensive lineman. So I got my 3 positions covered. but I still get, I'm still getting scored 20 plus points a game on me. And it's like, I wish I could do something to combat that. So I think I'm okay not playing defense, but I would like something else that can put a little bit more skill instead of pure luck. Because sometimes I feel like I just get screwed by the computer on defense in the game. I forgot to mention earlier that you can actually run the quarterback by that pulling the passing arc around and throwing it backwards. So if you throw a pass, like pull it around and throw it behind you, that'll actually trigger a quarterback run. So, what do I give Retro Bowl? As you guys know, if you've seen any of my other honest reviews, I rate games on an obscure scale that doesn't make sense that I just kind of make up on my own because I think I'm funny. But I give Retro Bowl a 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors. What that means is, if you guys don't know, the Warriors that year set the regular season record of 73-9. Which was beating the Chicago Bulls record back in 95-96, where they went 72-10. The Warriors went 73-9, but, big but here, they didn't win the championship. So 73-9, they had the greatest regular season, but they couldn't get the job done. They couldn't go all the way, and they couldn't complete the task of guaranteeing themselves as the best team of all time because they didn't win the championship. So while they have the record of most wins in a season, they didn't win it. They didn't win the whole thing that year. So that's kind of where I place Retro Bowl. So while it does all these amazing things and it's the best mobile game for football out there, it's missing some key features to allow it to hold up the trophy, if that makes sense. There's just a few things missing from the game. Right now, the only thing you can do is play franchise mode. I think just kind of like an exhibition mode would be cool. And I didn't think of that until the purposes of this tutorial when I wanted to get different types of gameplay for you guys. I was like, man, I have to use gameplay from my franchise mode, and I can't create a second save and start all over because then I'll delete this save. And then, some of the stat things I told you that are missing, maybe some defensive elements that could be added to the game. But overall, it's a solid game. It's really good. But it just doesn't quite complete the job, if that comparison makes sense. So that's what I rated 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I apologize if I got a little too long-winded there. But I hope you appreciate the view. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to. I try and push out content as much as I can. Life's pretty busy, so I do video production is my job. So constantly doing stuff, and I get to video games when I can. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.